When I click play on these tracks, I just never know what I'm in for. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in this video I am going to be reacting to the album Steal This Album from the heavy metal band System of a Down. This is System of a Down's third studio album. It was released in 2002, and I've already heard and reacted to their first two albums, their debut self-titled and their second album Toxicity, and I really got into both of those. System of a Down definitely has a very playful, kind of unique style to their music that I have really been getting into. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing Steal This Album and just seeing what System of a Down is going to do on this one. Alright, so starting off with track 1, we have Chic N Stu. Kind of a funny track name.
Ball games in the refrigerator, doors closed. Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chives.
What is this song?
Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chives. Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chives.
Yeah, they've got two vocalists going on with this track, which is pretty cool.
Advertising's got you on the run.
Yeah, I really like this second vocalist. A lot of you were saying how on this third album, Steal This Album, Serge and I think his name is Darren kind of do a lot of harmonizing with their voices.
Every minute, every second, bye, 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 bye. Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chives. Advertising causes me, therapy, advertising.
Well, that was track 1, Chic N Stu. I'm not exactly sure why it's called that. It didn't really have anything to do with Chic N Stu. It was more to do with pizza pie, apparently. Definitely reminded me of Toxicity a lot, some similar sounds, but I loved the harmonizing going on, and then again with the infusion of some more melodic, really restrained moments too. Very interesting start to this album. And moving on, we have track 2 called Innervision. Great guitar at the start here. I'm loving the intensity that this one is bringing and the build up into the chorus. It's so good. We got some really cool percussion going on here in this little quiet bridge. Track 2, Innervision, that one was awesome. I loved how heavy and dense of a track that was because of the guitar mainly. And then still in typical System of a Down style, they pulled in that kind of restrained, really quieted down bridge there, but it just brought so much intensity and energy. Just absolutely loved the sound of that one. And I'm just going to keep moving right along. We have up next track 3 called Bubbles. I just cannot ever get over how fun their music is to listen to. Such interesting vocalizations. Track 3, Bubbles, that was a short little one, under 2 minutes long, just brought the energy though. I liked kind of how almost bouncy that track sounded at points, just with the rhythm that they kept through that whole thing. Such a fast-paced little song. Alright, and then up next is track 4 called Boom.
Where all your buildings crying and clueless neckties working.
Clueless neckties working.
Your neighbor, what a guy.
Again, I love this guitar tone. Like, it's just so heavy. That was track 4, Boom. I actually really enjoyed that one. I liked the sound of it, and then really interesting narrative on consumerism and basically how we live in this society where everything revolves around money, like money is the bottom line over human lives and the well-being of humans in general. It's all about money, and that's kind of the corrupt system that we're living in. And I'm going to move on to track 5 called Nüguns. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it.
Button collects price of his time. What have we said? Wasn't it?
Yeah, their harmonies are really cool to listen to. Their voices work so well together. They're both just so smooth and flowing, like the tone of their voices. They're pulling in some different instrumentation here.
Presents, haven't we paid penance?
I'm really liking the rhythm of this song. It's like very stop and go, like back and forth. I like it.
Nüguns, to the Nüguns.
Track 5, Nüguns, I think is how it sounded like they were saying that in the song. That one just had like a snappiness to it. Like it was a really quick, fast-paced song. It had less melodic parts to it, but they did introduce that instrument, which kind of brought a little bit of an acoustic vibe to it, which was cool. And moving on, we have track 6 called A.D.D, or American Dream Denial. We've got some stringed instruments in the back of this one. That's really cool. You sent us back in body parts. This track is really reminding me of Aerials off of Toxicity. It's got this really smooth flowing sound to it, and they're going back and forth between melodic and extremely intense, just so smoothly. There's no jarring transitions.
Right now, right now, right now, right now!
I actually just got goosebumps. There's something about like those stringed orchestral instruments behind the guitar and the percussion that just works so well. There's such a rich sound to this track. That was track 6, A.D.D, or American Dream Denial. I think that is definitely my favorite on this album so far. I loved how they made that track so beautifully melodic, and then the chorus came and just brought so much intensity and aggression. Like I said, it gave me goosebumps. Just the blend of melodic and intense moments, just absolutely fantastic. All right, and I'm going to move on to track 7 called Mr. Jack. This one's got an interesting start to it. A little bit slower. Oh yeah, that was the moment I was waiting for.
Is that the mouthwash in your eyes, Mr. Jack? On the side of the freeway in the car.
I just love the tone of this song. It's got this really dark intensity to it.
7 a.m. morning. Lights are on the track. You must have fixed authority. Put your hands up. Get out of my car.
Track 7, Mr. Jack. I loved that one. They kind of did less of that playful stuff. They kept it kind of a colder, more sinister, reined-in tone through the whole thing, which I really like music that does that. Kind of has that like seething, slowly building up sound to it. All right, and I'm going to move on to track 8 called IEAIAOU, I think. When I click play on these tracks, I just never know what I'm in for. What is this song? It keeps changing. Man, their lyricism is just so impressive.
Illusions acquainted, bubbles erotica, plutonium wedding rings, paintings of the alive.
I just realized those vocalizations, it sounds like they're saying I-E-A-I, A-I-O. I guess that's why that's the track title. Track 8, I-E-A-I-A-I-O. That is probably one of, if not the most entertaining System of a Down song I have heard off of their 3 albums so far, and that's absolutely saying something because System of a Down is always entertaining with all of their tracks. The lyricism, like how quickly they were singing, they were essentially singing tongue twisters extremely quickly, and then with their harmonizations and the more intensity they brought on the choruses, there was always a new sound. Like, I just was so entertained listening to that track. And I'm going to move on to track 9 called 36. Life so unnecessary. Track 9, 36. That was a short little 46-second song. Kind of a little, I guess you could say, interlude. I don't know. It definitely brought a lot of energy, though. It was fun to listen to. And I'm just going to move on to track 10 called Pictures. Cool start to that one. I love that percussion. That was track 10, Pictures. Again, a super, super entertaining one. I really like, not only like the harmonizing that they're doing, but there's almost a call and response type vocalization that Darren and Serge are doing, which is just very entertaining. But moving on, up next is track 11 called Highway Song. Man, I really do love their harmonies. Their voices work so well together. That instrumentation behind this guitar is so cool. It's like a chimey bell sound. Track 11, Highway Song. I think that is the most melodic track they've had on this album so far. It never went like absolutely crazy insane with the intensity. They definitely brought it though with those heavier instrumentals. And again, with just how smooth and flowing the vocals are with their harmonies, it just was really beautiful to listen to actually. And moving on, we have track 12 called Fuck the System. All right, now this one's bringing a little bit more of the intensity back into their sound. Their vocals never fail to surprise me and just amuse me so much. Track 12, Fuck the System. The vocalizations on that track were crazy. I don't know what they were doing. They were just playing around and throwing so much on that. It's so entertaining to listen to. And moving on, we have track 13 called Ego Brain. This track is back to that great back and forth flow. Yeah, it's like this song is just floating all over the place. Like it's really light and ethereal sounding. Track 13, Ego Burn. That was a really beautiful one. Very melodic again. They kind of going back and forth. There's a couple tracks on this album that are way more pulled in and restrained. And like I said, just really beautiful. They really emphasize the more orchestral, natural instrumentation that System of a Down kind of utilizes, sometimes like in the background of a lot of their tracks. But there's definitely a couple songs on this album that are like fully embracing it, which I really enjoy. All right, and up next is track 14 called Thetawaves.
A bit of keratin and Thetawaves. The inside of mind is at times in LA. Finality waits outside.
Yeah, this track is a perfect example of how they're pairing that really melodic, light, soaring sound with that heavy instrumentation to pull it down. It's a great dynamic.
Caressing our smiles inside.
Sounds like just like a bell chime and then some really plucky guitar.
Rise. Caressing our smiles in.
That was a weird ending to track 14, Thetawaves. It kind of just like cut off and then the next track started playing. Again, they're doing some playful stuff, but they're also keeping it very melodic too. Yeah, sonically a really interesting one. I kind of want to move on to track 15 though, Roulette, just because of how Thetawaves ended so abruptly and this one started. I'm just really curious to see what it's going to sound like. So yeah, up next, track 15, Roulette.
I have a problem that I cannot explain. How I feel when I'm around you.
Yeah, I really see why so many of you wanted me to listen to this album to hear their harmonies, their two voices together, because it works so well.
How I feel when I'm around you.
Again, a very melodic track. They're definitely infusing more melodic moments on this album, I think.
Around you.
Track 15, Roulette. That one was just gorgeous. I really liked the acoustic guitar, and then I think that was the cello too, just the stringed instruments. Very simplistic, restrained, and it really emphasized how well their voices are together and just their harmonies. And I'm going to move right along to track 16, the last song on Steal This album, called Streamline.
I wasn't there for you.
Okay, so the polar opposite of Roulette, basically. This one's like so choppy and abrupt. That last one was so smooth and flowing. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon.
But I wasn't there for you. You're gone.
Again, with the fusion of intensity and melodic parts, they are just such an impressive band to me. Man, that part was awesome just then with that scream, and now we've got this guitar.
I wasn't there for you.
That was the last track on this album called Streamline. That one was fantastic. I mentioned at the start it kind of had like a choppiness to it, but then they kind of introduced that melodic part, and then at the end they just kind of fused the two together. It got really intense, but it stayed very smooth and flowing, and then when they brought the intensity there at the end, oh man, what an end to this album. That was just awesome to listen to. All right, so there you have it. That is my reaction to Steal This album, System of a Down's third studio album. This one was, as per usual with System of a Down, just thoroughly entertaining and just a blast to listen to. But then it kind of brought its own sound to it too. I thought Steal This album had more melodic moments on it than their first two albums, and with the harmonies too, with Darren and Serge's voices, that definitely made this album stand out for me personally. Some of my favorite tracks, I loved track 2, Innervision. That one was really, really cool. Track 7, Mr. Jack, track I also loved. It just had that really dark, seething tone to it. And I think my favorite on this whole album, at least upon the first listen to it, is A.D.D, American Dream Denial. That one just absolutely blew me away. I loved that track, and I am just extremely looking forward now to hearing Mesmerize and Hypnotize, their 4th and 5th albums. Those I'm sure are going to be a blast. Definitely stay tuned for those videos. And yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.